Hello friends, welcome back to the Lightford House. My name is Hope if you are new here. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a recipe for some espresso overnight oats. I found this recipe on Pinterest, so I will link it below, but it's asking for some cold brew, which I don't have, or it said regular espresso. So we're going to start by turning on our machine by pressing this lever down. It's going to flash green. Once it's solid green and it stops flashing, then it is preheated and ready to go. So we need a regular espresso. I guess I'll do, let's see. I will do this Valtesso. Any espresso is fine. Alright, so it stopped flashing, so we're just going to hit this button. It's going to automatically open. Place our pod there, hit the again, and just press the start button. And I got this cup at Home Goods recently, if anyone's looking for it. So I'm brewing this and I'm going to let it cool down completely before I start making the oats. Once it's done, it'll stop flashing again and you can press the lever up. And there goes the pod to the back of the machine. And we'll hold this down to turn it off. So there's our espresso, and this was a single, not a double. I'll be back with you once this has cooled down completely. You can cool it down by letting it sit on your counter for a little while or placing it in your refrigerator. Okay, now we're back. It's evening time. My espresso that I brewed earlier sat on the counter for a little while and cooled down, and then I set it in the fridge for a couple hours. So this recipe is very simple. You're going to need a measuring cup. This is a half cup, so I'll just use two. A spoon or something to mix the ingredients with. A container, some type of food prep container. I like to use the mason jar for my overnight oats. So you're going to need, we'll just go in order of the recipe. You're going to need 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 cup of rolled oats, 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, a pinch of salt, 1/4 cup of cold brew or just regular espresso. So we just brewed that in espresso pod earlier. And 1 cup of unsweetened plain almond milk. This is the unsweetened vanilla. It's fine, just use whatever you have. I bought these at Sam's Club, so that's what they had, so that's what I got. And we're gonna make it work. So very few ingredients here, and we're going to try this. Now, I can't tell you if it's going to be any good or not until tomorrow, because after we mix all these ingredients together, you want to let it sit in your fridge for 2 hours minimum, and then up to overnight. So I'm going to let mine sit overnight. What we're going to be doing is mixing all the dry ingredients in our container, and then we're going to top it with our espresso and our almond milk. So I'm going to start with the oats. We need a cup of oats. And I'm running low on my oats here. So I'm just going to do 2 half-cup measurements. You got to make a little bit of a mess. We're not really doing anything in the kitchen. Messes are going to happen. That's a lot of oats, because my Go Low overnight oats recipe only called for a 1/4 cup, so make sure you use a big enough container for your oats. So there's 1 cup of oats. It said a pinch of salt, so we'll just do a little bit of salt there. Tablespoon of chia seeds. And you don't have to measure them. You can just dump them in like I normally do. That's fine. Doesn't have to be perfect. That's good enough. And then our 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. And I don't know if you can hear the bulldog. He's over there snorting in the background, so we're just gonna guesstimate here because this comes in a bag and it's all just clumped together anyway. But 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, or an estimate. That's probably good. This container is filling up quickly. All right, so we have all of the dry ingredients in here. Now we're going to top this with the espresso. It did say that it's optional to top it with more almond milk before you eat it. So I guess if it's too thick for you, you could add some extra. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so I'm going to just rinse this cup and use it for tomorrow since I didn't drink out of it anyway. I only made our espresso in there. So I will have to give you an update tomorrow after I eat this to let you know if it's any good. And we're using 1 cup of almond milk. I don't think it matters that it has vanilla in it because it's coffee flavor. Now that is full with just a half cup. So I am going to kind of mix that in a little bit. There we go. Get us some room to add. It's probably a good idea to start mixing it together anyway. Get all these ingredients combined. So it did sink down some. So whatever size jar this is, it's a good size for this. Let's see. Get our other half cup. And it's going to fill it back up. Yeah, this is the perfect size container for this recipe. Now we're going to give it a big final mix here and try to get all the way down to the bottom. We want to combine everything, and I want to get that brown sugar mixed in there really well. Of course, I always stir mine before I eat it in the morning anyway. And I eat mine cold, but I guess you could warm them up. I imagine you could. I don't know why you couldn't. It's oatmeal, but I'm very curious to see how this is going to taste. Like I said, I found this on Pinterest, and I'm sure if you look up like espresso, overnight oats, you can find the exact recipe, but I will type the recipe in the description box below if you want exact measurements. But I think everything's pretty much mixed well, and I'm gonna give it a little taste just for curiosity. Just not any of the oats really, just kind of want to taste some of this, just a little bit of this milk and see what it tastes like. It tastes really sweet. Just that little bit that I tasted. That's interesting. I'm gonna let it sit overnight and see how it tastes in the morning. So what I like about overnight oats is it's little to no prep. You're just dumping things together and mixing it. Pretty easy. I usually have the ingredients on hand for the overnight oats. And I love that it's a quick, like, on the go, just grab and go thing that you can pack in your lunchbox. And this mason jar, it's not going to take up a whole lot of room in my lunchbox. So it looks like there's the 1 cup mark. So it's just over a cup, a little bit over a cup, whatever size jar this is. You can buy mason jars at Walmart, Target, dollar store, probably Dollar Tree. But anyway, it's an easy grab and go meal, and everything's already in here. I don't have to do anything except stir it and eat it. And then I bring my jar home, and it's dishwasher safe, of course, so easy cleanup there. It's just a convenient grab and go thing for me. So I will fill you in after I try this tomorrow and let you know if it's any good. And I don't think I'll need to add any additional almond milk because it looks pretty liquidy right now. We'll see how it thickens up overnight. Okay, just an update on the espresso overnight oats that we did using a single pod of espresso. You could use any single pod, or you could use cold brew as the recipe called for. It tasted good. It was a little bit too sweet for me, so I'll probably do less brown sugar next time. And it did wake me up, but I felt a little bit jittery, like hyper, so I don't know if it was from the combo of the sugar and the espresso or just the espresso itself, but it did taste good. It kind of had the taste of coffee ice cream, but with oatmeal added. So if you like coffee ice cream, I think that you should try it out and you would like it. Catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.